Okay, another update for Beach Spectres. We're getting very close. It's about a week and a half now until the thing. So good news is I think everything's in place. We've got the plan and I feel like we will do something on the beach. That's good. So first of all, changes to the stamper. We had a practice run a few weekends ago and a couple of the stampers broke earlier than I wanted them to. They were made of wood and they're going to break at some point, but they broke pretty quickly, which is discouraging. I think, well, maybe you need to tell people to be a bit more careful banging them against rocks, for example, but you can't avoid that. So that spurred me to think properly about how we can make a nice beveled, hardened bottom face for the cutters, which I'd been putting off because it was very difficult. And I'll show you what I've done. So I have 3D printed some bits to go on the bottom. You can see the profile of them sort of there. The fact they're white isn't great. So the hard thing about this is the shape's really curvy. And so working out how you bevel that hurt my head a little bit. In the end, I've gone for the sort of stupid option, which is that I extruded the Spectre shape upwards and then made like a sort of triangle shape, which is what I want to cut off the side, and just repeated that prism lots and lots of times tangent to the curve. So a fairly narrow triangle prism thing, repeated lots of times, cut that out. The computer can do that geometry for me. And that gets me a bevel, but the downside is at the corners where I just couldn't be bothered to work out the maths of it. You get these little sticky-outy roof bits. So there you go. Anyway, the nice thing about the Spectre is there are only three kinds of corner. There's a 90 degree, a 120, and somewhere on this, there's a sort of straight bit. If the edge hadn't been wobbly, that would be straight. So there are only three kinds of thing to print, which is nice. So I designed the three corners, make lots of copies of them. That's enough to cover a whole Spectre. I had to go down to the beach and they cut into the sand so much better. We had a problem with the practice run as well, that we couldn't really cut into the very wet sand, which was what we want to do as the tide goes out. We had to sort of come up the beach a bit and it wasn't great. Because we've got this nice cutting edge now, we can go cover a lot more of the sand. So very good. So what this is doing, it's both providing that cutting edge and it's going down the side a bit. It's providing a bit more structure to the corners, which are where the stamper tends to break. If I show you the other side, these joins and then the bit where the dowel is, it gets very thin there. That corner is going to be the bit where when it flexes, that'll bend and break. So hopefully they'll last the weekend. Got plenty of stampers. Hopefully we'll only have 4 or 5 out at once. So I hope that will be good. So that's the physics of it, the physical, practical, how do you stamp into the sand? The other part is how do you work out how to do the tiling, which is extremely difficult. So I've had a go with paints with my little 3D printed stamper. There's a thing behind me. I was happy in my head that I could follow the substitution system. So you have the one tile, you build it into a meta tile, and then sort of repeat that in my head. Doing it on the beach with other people was very difficult. All of us trying to agree, get our bearings, and work things out. So we definitely need lots and lots of references. One thing I wanted to do was to make an interactive map for us to follow. So we can sort of say, well, we're here and what do we need next to us? Cheat a little bit rather than doing all the maths in our heads, which why set yourself that challenge? So I've done that. Right, so we'll cut across to my tablet now. So here we go. Here's a Spectre tile. It's the turtle. It's with the straight edges. I haven't made them wobbly yet, and I can press a button to build up the next level of the meta tile. So what we found was really important was to label all the tiles so we can get our bearings and say, well, this has to be 1, so that one's number 2 next to it, and sort of keep track of where we are, give them names. And then if you build up the next tile along, let's zoom out a bit. So this is the level 2 tiling, which already has quite a lot of tiles in it. Will take us quite a while to make. So what we've done is named each of the, hang on, wrong button, named each of the level 1 tilings that's inside that. We've given them letter names. Now, because at each level of the substitution, the whole thing flips over, the names I've given them are letters with a line of reflective symmetry. So when we're on the beach, we've got these transparent sheets with that diagram on. We can sort of flip it over and work it out. We will also use the interactive thing to double check. So with this view, I can see that if we say we started with maybe U as the level 1, then we know what fits next to it, and we can zoom in and work out which tiles need to fit next to each other. So we can sort of double check when we've got the reference piece of paper of just one level 1, exactly how it fits together. And I'm quite pleased with this this nice slide that I can sort of fade between these diagrams of the levels. So that's a level 2. It should take us about an hour, hopefully. Goodness me, hopefully. And then a level 3 is 8 of those, which will take us, who knows, we might get a level 3 done during the day. We may not. I really hope we do. And then this shape is, if we just plop that on the beach, we'll get that nice thing. What we want to do is cover it, really. So we might want to find out what fits in one of these gaps, the sort of white bits there. So we might need to go up to level 4 and say, well, we started with whatever, we'll choose arbitrarily. I think U's good because it's sort of in the middle, and say the C is over towards these T and Y, and say, so what's in those sections that we need to work with? And we can drill down to, well, it orients that way, and work out where the level 1s, level 2s, and sort of, well, working it from level 4, level 3, level 2, level 1, working down to planting an actual tile, and have this reference of the actual tiles. I can zoom in and double check that we've got things right. Just get this. Maybe if you get the first one in okay, and you know exactly where it is, and you know its address. Let's zoom in again. This one up in the corner here, THX3. Then you can do the rest of that level 1 tile and sort of maybe work your way out from there. So logistically, we're going to have a couple of people on with this tablet and with a massive map. We're going to print out the whole thing on a huge scroll of paper as well as a double check and sort of tick things off as we've made them. So we're going to have a couple of people doing that, and then other volunteers out supervising the actual stamping. We'll try our best to ask people who pass by to say, would you like to come and stamp this thing into the sand exactly where we tell you? Or the volunteers will be doing it as well. So that's what we're going to be doing all day long. We've got other stuff. We're going to have up on the prom, we'll have a little table explaining what we're doing, made up some posters that explain it, and some enthusiastic people to talk to you. And we'll have a tough tray, and then also just the sand. And I've got loads and loads of just other shape stampers, small. So these have been to a school, by the way. We've used them with paint, which is why they're also colourful. So I've got like hexagons and stars and pentagons. I've been doing this activity in schools for the past few months, and it's been very successful. I think everybody can get something out of that. Tiny kids in nursery love just stamping. Bigger kids have really started to think about how these shapes fit together. And as you get older, you maybe start to think about symmetries and like really complicated repeating patterns. So we'll have that. There'll be stuff to do. I can confirm that we are going to have beach access northeast there, certainly on the Saturday, maybe on the Sunday. They've got some amazing equipment, especially beach adapted wheelchairs and things to help you get on the beach if you couldn't otherwise. That's really good, and I hope that we find a way of raising some money for them as well. And we will also have ice cream tokens. This was really what sold the project. So if you come along, we're going to have a good number of tokens for a free ice cream from the Mios. So that's a thing to look forward to. And yeah, stuff. Okay, so not long to go now. Stress levels up here, enthusiasm levels also up here, so that's good. And I hope I'll see you on the beach on the 6th and 7th of June.